Today, we're going to take a look at this tent, the Summit Seeker by Ultralight. I've had it for about 6 months now and been able to extensively test it in Australia and also on this recent bikepacking adventure that I've been on from China over to here in Vietnam. But I thought I'd set up the tent, show you guys, give you guys a bit of a walk around of the tent and talk about everything that I have gotten to know about this tent and share it with you guys, because Ultralight have a special on this tent right now. If you are keen to check it out, there'll be more information down below. They have a special because it's been out of stock for quite a few months now, and they're just releasing it as soon as this video will be dropped. And this tent stands out as a top tier ultralight shelter option. However, as Ultralight have this offer on right now, it's much more affordable, so definitely make sure to jump on that. And it appeals to long distance adventurers, and it's especially a good option for bikepacking. I did come across a few things that I will be mentioning in this video though. And depending on the extent and the kind of adventures that you want to go on, the length of adventure and just the general demand that is involved in that kind of adventure will depend on the kind of tent that you get. This video is focused on bikepacking tents, and this tent specifically as a use case for bikepacking. It's been perfect for my adventures across China and Vietnam, where I haven't particularly needed to use a 4-season tent because I haven't been in harsh, really cold environments. So it's been great for what I've been using it for, and also back home in Australia. And I think it's light enough for outback bikepacking expeditions across countries, weighing in at about 1.62 kilograms. It's light enough as a 2-person tent to sustain you for even backpacking adventures, but particularly bikepacking. It's light enough and it packs down to a certain dimension that works well with my bikepacking setup. I've normally been mounting it on my handlebars in a dry bag, which straps directly to my re-strap handlebar mount. And they say the pack size is 46 centimeters in length by 13 centimeters in width. However, with the dry bag, I'm able to really compress it along with the rainfly as well to really make it compact enough where I can fit it in that bag along with other things as well. However, this tent is an attempt by Ultralight to make a comfortable, lightweight tent that also offers some durability and practicality for the adventure. And when it comes to interior space, there's plenty. Enough room to fit 2 people, or if you're just solo, there's enough room for yourself and also all your gear. I've been able to bring in all my gear that I need on this current bikepacking trip, and also the vestibule from the rainfly as well provides enough space to keep gear that is probably dirty outside of the tent still protected from the weather. And I mean, I am about 5'11", and I still have enough headroom where my head isn't touching the top. The peak is at about this point here, so you get enough room to be able to sit up if you're someone around my size or height. I do have a shorter torso compared to my legs, which, you know, helps. And the total measurement height that is claimed is 110 centimeters from the highest point inside the tent here. It's also great because then you can do morning push-ups if you want, and you can do downward dog, yoga stretches, all that good stuff, which makes it great. If it's pissing down rain, you can get a workout inside the tent before you pack it up and before you hit the road. I also love it because I try to keep up a constant daily meditation routine. So I'm able to just like sit up in the tent and do my meditation and be all cruisy. And it's also great for changing. I noticed I can stand up to about here, and I'm able to, you know, at least get some pants on in a very hunched over manner and still be able to get changed. So you're led into the tent through 2 rather sizable double doors that come all the way up to the very top roof of the tent, which allows for some headroom to get in. And I mean, like when I normally get in this tent, I'm zipping it to like here and just getting in just like that, so then the mozzies don't get in with me. Another great thing I like is the internal storage potentiality. With this one, you've got heaps of pockets. So you've got pockets up top here, you have pockets down the side here, and you have pockets on this side as well, right here. Then you have the same pockets on this side too, along with more pockets here. And you got pockets just behind you guys there as well. So you got a lot of internal organizational storage potential. It would be cool to see more pockets up the top. There isn't any up here. although that would be a good space for more pockets. When it comes to setting up, it's very, very easy. It's literally just one pole system. So the whole pole system is one piece that breaks down. The size of the poles themselves when they break down is the only kind of issue that I had with this tent. It would be great for it to be a smaller breakdown size when packed, just for bike packing, to have it mounted on the handlebars and within the handlebar width. At the moment, it's just outside of that for this bike packing setup, and I mean the handlebars on this bike are very narrow anyway. However, that just makes it a little difficult, but then you also get an additional 3-piece pole structure that really offers you extra headroom inside the tent by really pulling out the edges much more. I love it that it's freestanding. I can literally set it up and move it to wherever I want to move it. And I mean, it took me a little while to get used to how the tent sets up, but once you figure out that one end poles are longer than the other end, and you figure out the actual nuance of the tent's design in that way, it's very easy that you're able to just set it up in the dark, no problems. And when it comes to the dimensions of the tent, you're looking at 220 in length by 130 on the longest point, which is where you get these long poles, and then it tapers down to 105 at the foot length. And the tent is a little narrower on one end rather than the other. And guys, I mean, compared to other tents that I've used in the past, like the Denali Zypher one-person tent from Anaconda, which is a really affordable tent. They don't make them anymore. They are discontinued. I think you're looking at probably $150 Australian, something like that. And I mean, that tent didn't last long at all, and it barely had any space being a one-person tent. And I mean, that one took me across France and into the UK and Ireland. And that tent was just under 2 kilograms, just like the Summit Seeker by Zarelli is as well. However, that tent was much poorer quality and it had much less space. This is a 3-season tent, and it has fared very well in the conditions I've been traveling through in Vietnam and China and back home in Australia. It is more of the drier season here, so I haven't been able to test it in rather extreme conditions. However, there were some sections through rural China where I was passing through some chilly mountain passes and it got cold. Some nights got really cold and I was sleeping in my summer sleeping bag. Combined with the rainfly, I was toasty as in the tent still. However, I gotta tell you a quick story. There was one morning where it was pissing down rain, and I mean for all night long. I was smart enough to put the rain fly on, because some nights I don't even use that. I just love to look at the stars and just really take in the nature around me. It's really great for that. It's a very open, inviting tent to bring in nature inside. However, with the 2000 millimeter HH rating material and the 3000 millimeter rated base, it was sealed. The base is solidly strong enough that I haven't been using a ground sheet at all. I haven't really had a need for that. But yeah, there's been many nights of rain and I've been completely sealed and no rain has gotten in, and also no ground moisture as well. It was all good until they'd found me. They discovered me on my tent in the back corner there. And they got so suspicious. Hang on, I'm just gonna get on the bike and get out of here. I got woken up again by like this angry Vietnamese bloke pulling at my tent, like pulling the tent up off the ground and trying to lift it up. And I'm like, hey, what's going on, kind of thing. And I got out of the tent and got up and went and like looked at them. It was at this time it was really raining as well, so I was trying to like stay in the tent to stay warm and dry. And I was like, is everything okay? I gave them a thumbs up and stuff, and they're like, yeah, all good, all good. But then they just kept sticking around, and then it started pissing down. And I'm like, all right, I just got to make a ditch effort, get up and pack up and get out. So I pack up and get out in the rain, get the bike all packed. And then as I'm just about to leave, this authoritative bloke comes up in an aggressive tone and he's like crossed fingers, like, no, you can't leave kind of thing. No bike. So I woke up this morning to them calling the police here. So I just got to wait for police to rock up and see what the go is. But that's what it went from. It went from this place being such a friendly place from all of yesterday and all the generosity to a moment of potential reasoning to think that this whole place is crap. But no, that's not the case. It was just them checking and I'm free. I'm out and I'm riding again and I'm back on the road. I had a slight urge to just make a run for it, but I know that I was a threat to them and they were just wanting to make sure I wasn't you know, crazy. And it's not like they can do anything to you really if you're just a good person and good intent, you know. So I just trusted that would be okay. He just wanted to check my passport and ask what I was doing, questioning why I didn't get a hotel. And the honest answer is because I spent all my dong. There's no real ATMs around, but what a way to start the morning, I guess. So the material that the tent is made from is a 15D ripstop nylon construction, which is quite a common material that we're starting to see with ultra lightweight tents. And I mean, it hits a nice sweet spot between being lightweight for bikepacking adventures and robust and strong enough to withstand some of the demands that these adventures can take on gear. Again, I'd love to test it for a longer period of time and really give a holistic opinion about the durability and quality of it in that way. However, it's quite comparable to something like the Big Agnes Tiger Wall. My mate had one of them and that was used for bikepacking across the USA. With the Summit Seeker, it's $250 more affordable for basically the same tent and features. That's incredible value. That material often has to be cared for. Sometimes it can you can put holes in it if you're not careful. So it's just a matter of balancing the vigor of and demand of bike adventures with looking after your gear as well. But I was crunching quite a bit of the stats and the numbers, and it seems that the Summit Seeker is on par and quite comparable to most high-end tents in that sub 1.5 kilogram range. And also in terms of the floor waterproofing as well. And if you're worried and you want more protection on the floor as well, the ground sheet is an additional 3,000 millimeters. And I mean, the Rainfly comes in super handy with full coverage, it clips to the tent, and the vestibules are actually quite sizable as well. So you can fit, as I said, all your gear outside the tent if you don't want it inside. Both sides as well. And another great thing I love is it also invites ventilation with Velcro closing, but you can also open those up and allow for some breeze to come in because it can get quite hot in there when it's sealed up, which is great for colder camps in the mountains. But when you want some privacy and it's rather warm, it's great to have that airflow coming in. However, I did notice when it was rather hot and I had the fly on, I still had to leave one of the fly doors open with the tent, you know, closed up so mosquitoes wouldn't get in, just to invite a bit more airflow. And also condensation is often a bit of a consideration with tents. I didn't have any issues at all on this trip with condensation, even when having your devices in the wall pockets inside the tent. Often they can get damp from condensation off the Rainfly. That never happened though. And shout out to Mark for allowing me to come by and stay at his place. He's a fellow bikepacker. I'll have links down below for his information so you can check out more about what he's up to. But this is his space. It's a beautiful spot here in Nang Trang, right by the water. But that's it for this one, guys. Thank you for watching. I've been loving the Summit Seeker from Zerali. So make sure to check it out below. Again, there's going to be more information there. They're running a sale right now, so jump on that. I don't know how long that's going to be for, but it's worth checking out. You'll be able to get yourself a decent quality tent for a really affordable price. I'm gonna just chill here in Vietnam, I think, for a few more weeks and really just enjoy what this place has to offer. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you want to stay up to date for more gear videos and bikepacking adventure videos, then make sure you subscribe to the channel because I've got a heap more stuff coming along, and I'll be uploading soon some more of my adventure from China to Vietnam and many more to come. So thanks for watching. Give the video a thumbs up. Give the video a thumbs up if you like this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one.